course, I start my video called anyway. What up? It's your boy T-Murphy from the Reaction. Guys, I'm recovering from the Parents React to WAP video. This is the third one. I swear these boys gonna have me a coma. Anyway, so I had some time because I'm gonna do this though, especially this one. Next week is gonna be pretty busy because that's my week for the wedding. I'm going to, and since it's the month of October, I thought with that at the end of almost all my reaction days that I do, I'm gonna try to do some kill counts, and then Halloween week, whatever, or close to Halloween week, I'm gonna do a reaction each one to a series, though. And it's gonna be the series that a while back I asked which series I should do soon, and if you remember, if you remember the poll, you'll know. If not, you'll find out. So anyway, today I'm gonna do a kill count reaction from Dead Meat. Other body counts like Jeffet and Carnage gonna be on Friday as usual, but the Dead Meat's gonna be going through I'm gonna possibly try to do them through the week. Depends on I have time. Stuff will possibly Wrestling Wednesday and Music Monday. That's the only time. Other than that, in between other days, and if I have some free time Saturday, whatever, I'm gonna do some kill counts for Halloween. So I got a lot on deck with the series I got back-to-back series as well too, and two, he come with a lot of new ones, and I'm trying to like get them all together. So that being mine, Friday I did a surprise motherfucker reaction to Tales from the Hood kill count by Dead Meat. Before we get to that, let me make something clear. Some of these movies I either seen one time or may never seen before, and somebody saying like, why watch the kill count? We watch the whole movie. Sometimes you don't have time to watch the whole movie, or you gotta find time to find where the movie at and all that. So how about and with anything, the kill counts make you want to watch the movie more. Now that being said, this past Sunday, James released the kill count from Tales from the Hood 2. Now I was gonna get that ready for Friday. Look it up to add it. Come to find out, there's a Tales from the Hood 3 that came out or coming out. I think it's coming out. So, with that being in mind, I'm going to do the trailer for Tales from the Hood 3, followed by the kill counts by Dead Meat, Tales of the Hood 2. So, let's get it. And Tales of the Hood 3, from looking at the thumbnail, is starring a black horror legend, none other than Tony Todd. Let's get it.
Do you see the bad things?
The bad things, they know how to hide. They know how to make themselves look normal. Evil has a way of looking really nice and shiny. On the surface, when it has to.
Oh, wow.
Bad things are already here.
Alright, cool. Alright, so now let's get into Tales from the Hood 2, which star voice actor and well-known legendary actor Keith David. Now, before I get to that, I also found out that the Black Noir is available on Shudder, and I'm gonna probably wait till the week of Halloween, whatever, to do a trial with Shudder and watch that, because I want to watch that. Or if I can find it somewhere online somewhere, I'll watch it. But I'm not going to do reaction to it or anything, because one, it'll take a little time, and two, if anything, I'll probably going to be on my Patreon. But then again, like I said, I'd rather sit on the couch and relax and watch that, and and it's going to be long. So anyway, let's get to, my hair's coming loose. Anyway, let's get into Tales from the Hood 2 starring Keith David. Let's get it.
Welcome to the Kill Count, where we tally up the victims in all our favorite horror movies. I'm James A. Janice, and today we're looking at Tales from the Hood 2, released direct-to-video in 2018. Coming 23 years after the original, Tales 2 was made by the original film's creators, Rusty Cundiff and Darren Scott, who had always wanted to make a sequel to their movie, but couldn't find any studio support until after the success of Get Out. Once again, they co-wrote the script, and this time through, Scott stepped up to direct some of the shorts. Unfortunately, Tales 2 doesn't capture the same charm as the first film, which was able to deftly balance horror, humor, and social commentary without going overboard in any one direction. That's far from the case this time around, where most of the short stories are heavy-handed and throw subtleties straight out the window. Similar to some episodes of the new Twilight Zone, a few of these shorts focus too much on the message and not enough on the medium. I fully support using horror movies to explore social issues, but in the end, they've still got to be entertaining movies. Tales 2 forgets about that part and often stops dead in its tracks to preach directly to the audience. There is quite an increase in gore though, so I decided to get a sponsor so I could keep it all uncensored. Raycon's earbuds come in a variety of styles and patterns, so you can select for style while knowing you'll have high quality sound no matter what. They start at about half the price of other premium wireless earbuds and are used by several celebrities who have been featured on this show, like Snoop Dogg and Brandy. And me! I use them all the time, whether I'm doing chores or working out, knowing that their snug fit will keep them in my ears for however long I need. You can get Raycon's everyday E25 earbuds for 15% off by going to buyraycon.com/deadmeat. That's buyraycon.com/deadmeat for 15% off your order today. With another 5 stories to look at, we've got plenty of kills coming our way, so let's get to them. The movie begins with, wait, what? Oh my god, all these little skelly boys? Wow. Listen, I'm no fan of bastard skellies, but when they're running around on fire and dancing in little hats, they've got me eating out of their bony skelly hands. Someone needs to edit them into the music video for strobe light. Our wraparound story for this anthology film is called Robo Hell and takes place at a facility owned by weapons manufacturer Dumas Beach. And you already know there's about to be an A&W commercial later.
So, am I your man, Mr. Dumbass?
I was thinking that.
The name is Dumas.
Dumbass.
Mr. Beach is being visited by Mr. Sims, our favorite funeral home director, who's decked out in the most incredible suit jacket I've ever seen in my life. Hot damn! Sims is now played by Keith David, star of the perfect John Carpenter's The Thing, replacing Clarence Williams III, who played Sims in the first movie. Williams was invited to reprise the role, but he had since retired from acting. I obviously adored his performance as Mr. Sims, but if they had to recast him, they couldn't have done any better than Keith David. He's by far the best part of this movie, especially compared to all the dialogue that's way too on the nose.
I'm the largest builder and owner of private prisons in this country, and I can tell you, your brothers and sisters make up an enormous part of my profits.
Beach's latest weapon is a sentient robot named Robo Patriot, who, yes, is basically just RoboCop. Beach has invited Sims here to tell Robo Patriot stories about crime, so it can learn for itself what kinds of people to arrest.
Something to make your creation choose the correct individual for incarceration.
It's maybe a flimsy conceit, and it's downright groan-worthy when Beach specifies what kind of story he wants to hear first.
How about Black Lives Matter?
Wow.
But I guess we've got to get to our shorts somehow, so go ahead and introduce us to the first one, Mr. Sims.
I call it Good Golly.
Good Golly sees a pair of college girls, Audrey and Zoe, visiting a small museum in the South that's certainly gonna have some uncomfortable exhibits.
Hold up. Let me see that. Yeah. I'm picking right. I feel like I picked the right. I think he and myself is picking the right time to him to make these and me to react to this because we're going through a lot.
College girls, Audrey and Zoe, visiting a small museum in the South that's certainly gonna have some uncomfortable exhibits. Yep, looking like a highway rest stop in Tennessee here. The proprietor of this museum doesn't find his artifacts funny though. He looks at them as a part of America's racist history, which he promptly lectures the girls about, even though they think all that prejudice is a thing of the past.
Well, I mean, we're friends, so since grade school, so yeah.
Yeah, snake hands for no more racism. Audrey is here because she wants to buy a Gollywog doll, since she had one growing up.
He looks just like my first. Hi, Golly.
May I suggest something less racist, Audrey? Like the plantation doll from the first
Oh,
movie.
shit.
Gollywog is, a whole thing, but briefly, it was a racist caricature seen in books and dolls that was created in 19th century America and became popular in the UK and Australia. The idea for making a short based on a racist doll actually goes back to the first Tales from the Hood. Rusty Cundiff had originally envisioned the plantation puppet as a pickaninny doll, another racist black caricature. But special effects supervisor Kenneth Hall talked him out of it.
And I said, okay, don't be offended, but I'm going to sketch out what a pickaninny doll looks like. And I did, and it was one of those incredibly racist dolls with the pigtails sticking out and the lips and all that sort of thing. And he goes, oh, no, that's, no, we don't want that.
The proprietor tells Audrey that nothing here is for sale, because that's how museums work. And also, damn girl, just get yourself a Cabbage Patch Kid. The girls leave in anger and return later that night with Philip, who's both Audrey's brother and Zoe's boyfriend. They break into the museum, and as Audrey finds a doll to gollynap, Philip gets weird about a slave whipping post.
If I was your master, I'd tie up and punish your pretty black ass for not obeying my
What the fuck? Okay.
every perverted white desire.
Wow, dude, couldn't just be into like feet or some shit? Audrey's ready to take her golly and go,
right, really?
but all that master race kink play topples the pole and gets the golly case from her hands. Aw, poor little guy is bleeding from the glass shards. You know what we do with bleeding dolls. Go long! Not sure why he did that, but it wasn't very nice, was it, Phil? Was it, Phil? That is one big golly, Bam-a-lam. And it's giving Phil a wedgie, Bam-a-lam? The golly uses the slaver
Come here!
Zoe, and she's killed by a dental guillotine crushing her, courtesy of this racially insensitive door frame. The golly then uses the whip on
Time
Phil.
out. Why you gotta be the black girl first? He did it. Anyway.
And although I'm not a fan of how silly the giant golly looks, I do think Philip's death is unexpectedly graphic. I hate how preachy this segment was up top, but at least we get this awesome gore out of it. Like, look at this shit.
Oh,
She's
shit.
nasty, Golly. Instead of being upset about the murder she just witnessed, Audrey tells the golly that she loves him and that she wants him to love her. Well, didn't really want to see this when I woke up today. Oh man, and definitely not that. It's not cute, plantation puppet. Some time goes by, and now Audrey is pregnant. Yes, with the golly's baby. The situation is almost as bad as this acting.
I don't care. If I die, but for the sake of the baby, I should give birth in a hospital.
Sorry you can't leave. How could I ever explain this?
Audrey pays for her golly love when her stomach explodes with golly babies, and I mean explodes.
What the
with some
fuck?
gross-ass sound effects. These bloody things are flying all over the place. It's not good, man.
I love you, my gollies.
Yeah, it's real bad. With that tale complete, we thankfully return to Keith David, although sadly, not for long enough. Because not Jeff Sessions there, Jeff Sessions there, wants Mr. Sims to tell his robot another story, this time one with gangsters. The Medium begins with a man named Cliff Bettis getting beat. The gangsters assaulting him want to know where he's put their $5 million, but Cliff tells them he's given up his life of pimptitude and has put the money to good use.
I'm a legitimate businessman now. I got 7 food franchises, 3 car washes, and 1 supermarket.
I don't know if we a big beat up
Wait,
makeup.
what time frame are we talking about
It's
for this
horrible.
story? Did he spend $5 million on car washes over the weekend?
Wow.
It doesn't make sense to me, but it does give Cliff a chance to recite rote dialogue about how he can help underprivileged kids. As with a lot of this movie's pontifications, it's not written in a way to be dramatically interesting, and is instead just a sort of social sermon. Besides, these dudes don't even care about Cliff's youth outreach.
Fuck them kids.
Another bright spot in this movie is the fun performances by the guys playing these gangsters, especially Martin Batts Bradford as Brian. Cliff teases the Ankh wearing Booze about prison rape, and Booze responds by killing him just off screen, I guess by hitting him super extra hard. Brian gets pissed because Cliff died before telling them where the money was, even though, I thought it wasn't grocery stores and whatnot. If they want to get answers from a dead man, they're gonna have to get creative, so they turn to a medium they see on TV named John Lloyd, played by Brian Batt of Mad Men fame. Oh, and the Scream TV series. Like all mediums, John Lloyd is a fraud. fraud. Through mics secretly hidden around his set, he's able to learn what to say to trick people into believing he can speak to their dead loved ones. Thought it'd be obvious this dude's a scam artist based simply on his shitty fake accents.
Susan? Where are we?
Is he channeling Bill Clinton there or what?
At that time you called me at the hotel room in Dallas and a woman answered the phone. It was just the maid cleaning up the room.
Yep, that sounds like Bill Clinton. That night, a persistent doorbelling interrupts John Lloyd's pajama time. There's a saucy lady at his door, and unlike Sal Romano, John Lloyd is very interested, which gets him held up by Brian and his crew. Brian demands that John channel Cliff Bettis.
Stop. It froze up a little bit. Go back real quick. Anyway,
Unlike Sal Romano, John Lloyd is very interested, which gets him held up by Brian and his crew. Brian demands that John channel Cliff Bettis so Cliff can tell them where the money is. To make Cliff comply, they've brought his girlfriend Sandra along, and will kill her if the dead man refuses to help. Oh, and if John can't actually talk to dead people?
I figure we just rob the place and murder your ass, so the night won't be a total loss.
damn.
After a panicky bathroom pep-up, John hosts a seance with some red candles and some background Haunted Hill entertainment. He plans to fake his way through it, but turns out there's no need to. For the first time in his life, John Lloyd for real channels dead people. The people he channels were all killed by the gangsters, and the spirits speak through John's body in a very cringeworthy scene.
Fools! How you gonna put a knife in your own cousin's back? Now
Damn.
come on, boy!
Oh man, and there are so many of them?
Well, you're the bloody wanker who carjacked me.
Make it stop! Finally, John channels Cliff Bettis.
I can't believe you motherfuckers had the nerve to bring me back.
And when Booze threatens to kill the guy for a second time, he finds that his gun no longer works because of ghost powers. Now, those ghost powers may not include the power of dance, but they do include the power to twist heads around. It's a way to kill a character from a production standpoint, since actor Kedrick Brown could just keep his head straight forward as he fell. The Cliff-possessed John Lloyd turns to gangster gore next, and uses some honestly decent-looking digital effects to sweep up broken glass and send them into his mouth. Oh man, it's not visually explicit at first, but it's still painful to watch. And then it is visually explicit, and even more painful to watch. Brian tries to argue that he did Cliff a favor by bringing him back in the body of a rich dude, but Cliff doesn't buy the argument and uses an overhead light to give Brian all the power he could ever want, electrocuting him to death.
Ashes to ashes, dust to dust.
Please stop. That's basically the end of this short, although I will say John Lloyd's show just got a whole lot more entertaining.
Which one of you motherfuckers want to go first?
Back in the military-industrial complex tent, Sims watches as Dumas Beach blatantly gropes an employee. One of Beach's lieutenants, Kelly, admits that this is normal behavior for him, but she doesn't ever speak out about it.
Because I believe in the overall mission. American safety.
Yeah, and making a lot of money.
She continues to bite her tongue as Beach encourages Sims to start another story. Date night sees two dudes named Ty and Kahan driving to a double date with a couple of wannabe actresses from Tinder. Under a facade of being casting agents who can help them get good parts, they pull up to the girls' friggin' mansion and just walk all over the lawn? Didn't your parents ever teach you to use the sidewalk, you dinguses? The girls let them in and sexily suggest they play Cards Against Humanity, which is of course a game that gets old faster than zebra stripe gum, especially when you don't play it properly.
And the list. I've got 99 problems, but doing the right thing ain't one.
No, it ain't.
You're not supposed to know who submitted each card. How are you supposed to make an impartial decision like that? Come on! After way too many full-ass rounds of this mediocre game, we fade into something a little more rapey. Because Ty is slipping forget-me-nows into the drinks he's making for the girls. They drink them, pass out, and are carried upstairs by the guys who went from assholes to monsters in like 2 seconds.
Make sure we don't miss it this time. Anyway, we had forget me nows. I gotta figure out. I might have to go down a little more on my Brady keeps doing it still. Anyway.
little more rapey, because Ty is slipping forget-me-nows into the drinks he's making for the girls. They drink them, pass out, and are carried upstairs by the guys who went from assholes to monsters in like 2 seconds flat. God damn. They plan on raping these women on camera and then selling the video on the dark web or whatever, but they may have some trouble getting footage in the first place, because all the camera sees is some floating underwear. The invisilingerie goes from prone to upright because the ladies are now standing, and turns out they're cats. Sorry, they're vampires, which is why they didn't appear on camera. Even though I'm pretty sure a tablet camera doesn't use actual mirrors, it doesn't matter. The guys do a goofy fighting stance before getting their asses kicked through the door and eventually jumped on and bitten. They later wake up to find themselves inside some kind of pen, with lots of groaning ghouls eager to get in. The vampire girls appear on a monitor so they can make this story subtext.
They did it again. Hold up. All right. Make sure where we at first. Jesus Christ. I gotta get this thing fixed for the next video next time. But anyway, sorry guys.
The guys do a goofy fighting stance before getting their asses kicked through the door and eventually jumped on and bitten. They later wake up to find themselves inside some kind of pen, with lots of groaning ghouls eager to get in. The vampire girls appear on a monitor so they can make this story subtext text.
We're a pair of predators who are hunting on the internet just like you.
With that, they let in the ghouls, who swarm Ty and Kahad and murder them through bloody close-ups and tearing sound effects. In the Keith David verse, Dumas Beach's reaction to the latest story is filled with cliche phrases that remind us, in case we forget, that he's not very nice.
But those young guys, hormones. Boys will be boys. I mean, they have to be to become men.
I can't wait
Am
to
I
see
right,
how
Grant?
this one is.
Yeah, but boys have to become men, right?
Wrong, you fuck. Sims offers Kelly a chance to denounce the sentiment, but instead, she jumps right into that boy pile.
Some women, far from virtuous, if you get my meaning.
Keith David will remember that. Hey, how's about we bring back a beloved line from the first movie in a pretty forced way?
Anyone who says that all women are bastions of virtue don't understand shit.
The shit!
He didn't even say the shit. You're trying too hard, movie. And nowhere is that more apparent than in the next and final short story, The Sacrifice. The Sacrifice takes the cake for most preachy segment. And if that wasn't bad enough, it's also a structural mess. It cuts back and forth pretty randomly between the main narrative of a present-day interracial pregnant couple and the real-life story of Emmett Till. Till's story is heart-wrenching and was a tragic act of evilness, and it feels very weird to have it told as part of a silly horror movie. If you somehow weren't familiar, Emmett Till was a 14-year-old boy from Chicago who, in 1955, was abducted from his uncle's home in Money, Mississippi by Roy Bryant, whose wife claimed that Till had whistled at her a few days prior. Bryant and his half-brother drove Till out to a barn where they tied him against a post and demanded he apologize. Despite the threat of violence, Emmett refused to give in to the racists.
I'm a man. And I intend to live like one until the last breath God gives me.
And the men beat and murdered this 14-year-old boy in cold blood. And no, I'm not gonna put Emmett Till on my stupid little kill count. That's fucking weird. In the present day, Emily Bradley is having dreams of Emmett Till, and in her dreams, he tells her that she doesn't deserve to have her baby. The dreams annoy her husband, Henry Bradley, a councilman who's working to help elect a politician named William Cotton.
Anyway.
That his mother's not too fond of.
That man wants to close down 10 more voting locations, all of them in black districts.
No, all in Democratic districts. And I'm a Republican. Why are you putting race into it?
Putting? He's purposely making it harder for black people to vote. Race is already in it.
Since they've already suffered one miscarriage, Henry wants to make sure this baby's okay. So he has their family friend Dr. Gwinnett over to take a look at Emily. Gwinnett says the dreams are just the product of hormones, so chill out, lady. Henry Bradley hosts a fundraiser to raise money for the campaign. And I'll give you one guess as to which of these motherfuckers is William Cotton. Did you correctly guess Southern Fried Sam Elliott? I knew you did. Cotton's slogan is, "Let's take Mississippi back," and he's really fond fond of Henry's plantation home, which we saw in the first movie, and the pigment of his wife.
And a very white wife, as I recall.
Really?
That very white wife interrupts the fundraiser to say that she just had a dream where Emmett Till
Oh, okay, one back one time. Oh my god. Chances I might end up redoing this whole reaction.
Knew you did. Cotton's slogan is, "Let's take Mississippi back," and he's really fond of Henry's plantation home, which we saw in the first movie, and the pigment of his wife.
And a very white wife, as I recall.
That very white wife interrupts the fundraiser to say that she just had a dream where Emmett Till decided to give in and live, instead of stand up to his aggressors and die.
That boy from the fields has decided to live, and if he does, it will kill this baby.
She runs outside where the ghost of Emmett Till is, but since he's a ghost, nobody but Emily sees him, until Henry's mom pulls up with a voodoo named Mr. Winters, who can also see the ghost.
Emmett?
Winters tells Henry that Emmett wants to talk to him about sacrifice, but even with his wife saying that her belly's getting smaller, Henry refuses to go along with ghost stories. Instead, he has Dr. Gwinnett over again, who's suddenly short-tempered with Henry as he confirms that Emily's belly is indeed shrinking. Upon hearing that the baby is Henry's child, Gwinnett storms away.
I don't work for college.
As if that wasn't weird enough, now Emily is saying that Henry's not her husband and that he kidnapped and raped her. In case you couldn't tell, Henry's in a full-on Jim Crow alternate universe now, all because he didn't respect the sacrifices given to him.
Respect the sacrifices that's been gifted you.
Now that Henry can see Emmett Till, the boy tells him he's decided to live, meaning the world will never see the infamous image of his open casket funeral. That's the kind of thing that might cause a butterfly effect. After all,
A lot of folks think that Emmett's death sparked the civil rights movement.
Henry now finds himself getting taught by Carol Denise McNair and the other young girls who were killed in the 1963 16th Street Baptist Church bombing in Birmingham. The girls get mad at Henry for supporting a politician who wants to take away the rights they died for. In other words, for not respecting the sacrifices given to him.
Respect the sacrifices.
It's heavy-handed, to say the least, and only gets more so with the appearance of the 3 Freedom Riders from the Mississippi burning murders, the assassinated civil rights activist Medgar Evans, and finally, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.
Dang, he looked just like him too.
All of them start chanting at Henry to respect the sacrifices given to him.
Respect the sacrifices given to you.
Emmett says that if he chooses to live rather than die, it could mean an end to the entire civil rights movement, which is sort of a mixed message to me. Like, is this arguing that these innocent people had to die for progress to be made? I'm not sure what to make of that. Henry refuses to pick up what they're putting down though, so the Klan Patrol rolls in with the clanniest motherfucker possible taking the lead. Jesus, this movie. Cotton hits Henry's mother, and Emmett tells Henry that the only way he can fix all of this is if he joins the Sacrifice Club.
If what you want is worth us dying for, why isn't it worth you dying for?
Henry balks for a bit, but the thought of living in a world where his wife would spit right in his face gets him to agree to be sacrificed. He's beaten to death by the Klan Patrol, and it's suggested that his death is somehow a sacrifice in the same vein that Emmett Till's was. Okay. Henry's death reverses things until the regular world is restored. Out to a Robo Patriot premiere. That he says will make the media shit.
Yeah!
Hold up. We're doing it again. I'm sorry, folks. I'm back. Like I said, it's going down. Chances are I'm out there redoing this, but let's get it.
Shit!
Yeah.
The doo-doo! The
Boobity
pop!
Beach tells his audience that Robo Patriot will save billions of tax dollars by seizing criminals and looking fly. Haha, check this Robo mofo out. He red, white, and wild. Beach also says Robo Patriot can read people's brainwaves and DNA.
So are you saying this thing can predict criminal behavior?
That's exactly what he's saying, Director Rusty Cundiff in a cameo. During a demonstration, Robo Patriot identifies threats in the crowd. First, some small-time criminals who are strong strongly encouraged to hand themselves in, then some undocumented immigrants who are forced to do the same.
Here to protect your families, your American families.
But Robo Patriot has saved the biggest danger for last. Someone he says is a threat to American civilization as we know it.
Robo Patriot recognizes dumb ass bitch.
And there's that root beery payoff. Robo Patriot gets real scary real fast as it decides to neutralize Dumas Beach, having analyzed all the awful things he's said while Sims was telling his stories. Beach runs away, so the robot turns its attention to his quote, worthless accomplices. It kills Kelly and Grant by shooting them one by one with some Yankee Doodle laser beams. Beach flees with Robo Patriot hot on his trail, and I kinda like the shots of the robot chasing after him. Well, some of the shots. Beach hops into Mr. Sims' car to get away, where he realizes that he was hit in the chest. Mr. Sims laughs his ass off as he tells Beach what's up.
This ain't no joke! This ain't no car! I ain't no nigga! And your worthless soul is no longer alive!
Beach is revealed to be dead, his body in the casket behind him, as Sims repeats his famous closing line from the first film.
Welcome to hell, motherfucker!
Sucks for Beach that he's gonna have to deal with hell's tough-ass bouncers, but hey, at least he'll get to hang out with this sexy red devil for all eternity. How many kills did this movie have in between all the lectures? Well, I'll tell ya. 'Cause this ain't no Let's Play. This ain't no mukbang neither! Welcome to the kill count, motherfuckers!
Hit the tongue. Really? Oh my god, he's a mess. Here we go.
13 people died in Tales from the Hood 2, the same amount as the first film. The victims consisted of 10 men and 3 women, a more than 3-to-1 ratio of dudes, and with a lengthy runtime of 111 minutes, that left us with a kill on average every 8.54 minutes. I'll give the golden chainsaw for coolest kill to Philip, who got whipped all to hell. It's a brutal kill that ends in a bang, with gore that looks like it came straight out of a Saw movie. Dull Machete for lamest kill will go to Dumbass Beach, who was killed so discreetly he didn't even realize it at first. And that's it. Tales from the Hood 2 came out in 2018 and was not very good. But a third movie comes out this Tuesday, October 6th, and features Tony Todd. Fingers crossed it'll be more like the first film than this one. I'm not sure when I'll get around to covering it, but until next time, I'm James A. Janice. This has been The Kill Count. Thanks a lot.
Hopefully I'll be able to edit it. Hopefully this edited enough so it won't be too choppy, because a lot of stuff can freeze on a lot though. But other than that, like I say, it was cheesy, but it's just story though. I mean, some of the stories, some was